You were in mid sentence when I hung up there. But yeah, rotation is good. Rotation is good. Um, we are back, and I took a few notes. Excuse the motion. I'm a little stiff. I woke up this morning and sneezed on my way out the bed and pulled my neck or pinched a nerve or something. It's horrible. Horrible. I wonder what that did. Oh, nothing. Who's that?
Mayfield in the house, 1183. What up? We on number 4 tonight. We doing some big stuff.
I'm just
It's
saying.
Friday, feeling good. We've had some pretty deep topics over the last, I would say, over the last 15 videos we've done. We've touched a few people, maybe given some people some juice, some inspiration. This is the community, the ARC. That is 1183. This is what we do. Real people, real issues, real life, real shit. Stratton's got something for us here, and we're going to run with it.
My question to the people: how do you maintain your identity as a parent? The person you were before you were a parent, how do you maintain that same identity after becoming a parent? Do you not, is it gone? Are you not that same person anymore?
You're the same person. You're just a little wiser, a little more patient. Identity, I think, is a somewhat of a loaded word because we're always evolving. We're influenced by people, things we see, movies we watch. We're inspired by different stuff. So I think your identity is once you have a family, you're tweaking as you go because your life experiences taught you one thing and you've kind of identified with all of that and you've kind of grown into this person and all of a sudden boom, you have a family, now you have kids. So on some level you feel like you have to be different, so you're kind of like you have multiple personalities kind of a thing. So I think you're still the same person, you're just a better version of yourself, I think.
So, a better version.
Yeah, what's up, Clayton?
Um, being a being a better version of yourself because you're a parent. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I think you're kind of forced to in that way. Not to say you were a bad person prior to. You just have different. You just have a different approach. I guess that's the best word I could use.
I mean, but you can't really live selfishly anymore. You're living for somebody else at that point. You can't do the things you once did. You and the
For
wife
example,
can't run around the house naked and
well,
screw
I mean,
wherever
yeah,
you drop. You know, that type of thing.
yeah, but I
So
think
how do you maintain the identity? I guess I didn't ask the question right. Not you as a person, but the couple you were before you had children. How do you maintain that identity before you had children?
you gotta have to kind of create those windows, I guess, of selfishness, of moments that you just have to find those windows. I guess is the best way I can, off the top of my head, to say it out loud. You have to create a window of
So you lose
opportunity.
spontaneity.
Right, it's more of a scheduled thing, if I guess. Yeah, yeah. It's more of a schedule rather than I come in the door, I don't have children, pick up the wife and be like, look, we're going out real quick. We're gonna do this and do that, and come home, drop the clothes, and get bit. You know, you just have a different, uh, just a different approach.
Do you
But I
think?
think
Because
identity
that doesn't actually do it for you though. Because that's not how you got there.
got what to the children.
Yeah. Because at that
What?
point, you're almost trying to just keep hope alive, ain't you?
No, no,
You
no,
sure?
no. no. I don't think much changes.
Before
I'm
you,
thinking about I'm
before
thinking about my life. I'm thinking about my life, and I'm thinking
I'm
about
talking,
how.
anybody out there that's listening has an opinion about that. I'm telling you, you can't walk into the house and see your significant other in the kitchen and think, but hear the kids upstairs and be like, you know.
Well, no, but you have to create like instead
I've
of being in
heard
the kitchen, you have to create a different. I mean,
it
it is
doesn't
what it is,
it,
right?
does- it doesn't help. I got a friend of mine that jokes about it. Anytime he gets an erection, there's a child's voice, knock at the door, uh, need of something. So you don't have that. You got to hurry up, get it in when you can, type of
But
thing, or send them away.
would you consider that? I mean, you asked the question identity. Like what are we defining as? I guess the identity. I mean,
Well, at one point it was Bob and Sheila. Now it's Bob, Sheila, Jake, and Sally. It's the family unit. It's the group. Do you only have friends that are other families, or do you have the friends that are, or do those families have, it's babysitter night. Everybody got a babysitter and all the parents go out, type of thing. And I mean, but we don't have communities anymore either. So you really don't know. I mean, you can't send your kid, like we were talking about, you can't send your kids out to play. I watched that thing that I posted on Facebook. They said they send their kids out in the summertime when the sun came up, and they didn't see them again until the street lights came on. Wasn't no cell phones, wasn't none of that.
no, no,
If you couldn't hear your mother or father, you were too far away.
that's right.
But we can't do that anymore. They got weirdos picking up kids at bus stops.
Yeah,
So you have to
yeah.
live for the protection of your children anymore. I mean, so you essentially do give up the identity of who you were. You got
I
to
don't
think
know if
about
I consider it an identity though. I mean, let's let's eliminate the whole you walk in the door, you got an erection type of thing. Because I don't see that as something that's like it's my identity. I don't.
you
You
can't
know,
do it.
well, that doesn't make me who I am because it's not something. You know what I mean?
That's what
So
got
I
you
think
where
the
you are.
definition of what we're
That
talking
might have been
about
the
may
move
be.
that might have been the move that got you married.
Yeah, but that's not my. But that's not the identity of what
It might have
you know.
been the straw that broke the camel's back that said, "Damn, he put it on me. I
I'm
have to
just
make sure he don't put it on nobody else.
what I'm saying is that I maybe my
Will you
definition
marry me?"
of it is my viewpoint of what I think identity is different. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think when I think of identity, I think of who you evolved to be, who you are, where you came from, why are you designed the way you're designed, what based on the decisions that you've made, the ripples that you've created, the path you've created. I feel like that's kind of like your identity.
Do you still feel like you have that same identity being a father?
I think I'm still have my identity. I think what is different about that is that everything, the ripple or the path that I'm creating, I'm essentially kind of creating for them in a weird sort of way. Um, and so who I've evolved to be, I'm able to be that dad or to be that husband for them. That's a part of my identity. It's just a kind of a new part of it.
That you more identify with than the old part.
Well, now because it's my life, right? It's yes. So to answer that question, yes, because it's who I am today. I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know, when before all of that transpired, even before I met my wife, I mean, I was who I was. The decisions I made, the paths I'd taken, were all based on my life experiences, how I grew up. That kind of put me on that path to meet the wife, to have the children, kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I think you always keep it. You just kind of you evolve into something more, and then you know, you kind of grow as your children grow, your family grows, love grows, that type of thing. I mean, identity is, as we see it, could
Maybe I
be.
think I used the wrong word. I think I used the wrong word. Um, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I meant as far as the football all star that you were, you're no longer because you decided to start a family. So that identity, that the people that knew you before when, or they always refer to you as, you know,
Oh,
he
you
was.
mean kind of like the thing you gave up to be who you are?
No, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Because
I, I'm
you
not sure.
sacrificed a part of yourself, right, to be who you are today, right? Or is that the wisdom part? Is that something that you
I
grow
guess
into?
no. I think that's probably a better question than your identity. What part of yourself did you sacrifice to be a father? And was it a sacrifice or a mother? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Now, I that's a great question. I've always thrived to have a family. I've always dreamed of it. It's always been a part of me. And that could be based on kind of our last video of the things that I've always missed as or dismissed as a part of my life at one point. I dreamed of being married and having a family. That was something that was in like just a part of me. That's what I dreamt of, and that was my dream. And I have that, and I live that today. Did I give something up to have it? I don't think so. I think, you know, was there a dream or aspiration or something that I gave up for it? I don't see it that way. I think it all kind of life led me on this path. Decisions I've made obviously led me on this path, but I think that was all a part of it. It was all tied together. Um, this is I'm living as you stated in a couple of videos ago. You're lack of a better word, you're living your best life. You're living your dream. You're happy. You're there. But along the way, you gave something up. Now, was it worth giving up to be where you are today? From my viewpoint, as your brother, I would say yes. But you may have a different feeling about where you were to get to where you are today.
No, I don't feel like I had to give anything up. And I think that's the problem. I've often wondered what or how other people feel in regards to the person they once were or was in comparison to the person they are now and the position they are in life and their children and whatnot. Um, I have glimpses of the person that I was prior to, wild and reckless and doing whatever I wanted to do, um, living very dangerously. But it doesn't. While I remember, it's been so long, so long ago that it's hard for me to honestly remember anything before a family. And it's rough because I know it's there, and I think a part of me is still trying to hold on to that. It's still trying to hold on to who I who I once was, or who people knew that I was. To being not being the wolf anymore. And then sometimes you almost feel like, excuse me, something was stolen from you. A part of you was taken. It was ripped away from you. And I've had situations where I've been afraid. I've been literally afraid of somebody trying to reach out and touch me, so to speak, because I can't react the same way that I used to react. You know?
Yeah.
Um, I think that that takes a little bit away from me anyway. Me anyway. I don't know, but at the same time, you wouldn't give any of it up. Like it's kind of like take me if you're gonna take me, just take me. You know, everything is just is perfect. But in the back of your mind, you think, well, I don't know what I think. It's scary. It's scary to be in a situation in your life where you're just you can't think of a reason to be unhappy.
And
So if that means giving up your identity or sacrificing a part of who you are, it kind of goes back to that happy thing. If you're happy, what did you really sacrifice?
well, there's always a sacrifice. There's always a what if. There's always that I could have gone down this path or that path, and my life could be different. And I'm sure on some level we all have that moment where we're watching something or we're driving and we see something that's like, I wonder if I would have walked down a different path or made a different decision, would my life be better or worse? Yet, even though we're on cloud 47, so every now and again that does go through my mind. It goes through my mind like I'll be driving to work and I'll have that moment where like, man, I wonder if I did this. I wonder if I did that. Would my life be different? And maybe that's a part of the identity aspect of it. Maybe it's like that kind of the hairs on the back of your neck that stand up and kind of make you ask that question so that you can appreciate, what you have going on in your life. And does it happen often? No, but you have those moments. You're watching a movie and something reminds you of 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And you have those moments that if I would have, I was in that situation, and if I'd have done this, I'd have been over here. And I think that's a part of your identity, you remembering all of the things that you did in order to kind of, create the path to where you are now. I think happiness
Yes, that's
is
where I
a
was going to go with that.
yeah, I think happiness is we've been using it a lot lately, or I should say you've been using it a lot lately as it relates to kind
Because
of
it's
life and where
comfortable.
I'm
It's
sorry,
uncomfortable. Because it's uncomfortable.
what's uncomfortable? The
When you
word?
when you've lived a life the way we have, to sit back and reflect and try to find something to be unhappy about. It's a scary thought because if all you've ever known is go go go, chase chase chase, um, it's rough to think about what's next. You know, because I can honestly tell you on my drive home yesterday when we were talking about that, if anybody asked me what my definition of heaven would be, I would have said right where I am right now. Just the place I was in my mind. The if I had to just let go. My home life is perfect. Um, of course, everybody has ups and downs. But like I said in the previous video, you got to know the down is okay. It's okay. You guys just talk about it. Move on. You're a team. But anyway, I digress. Um, if and I thought about it. If a 500-pound ball fell from 2 miles up in the air and it happened to land on my truck yesterday and killed me dead in the spot, my only heartache would be, of course, what my family would have to go through.
Yeah.
Right? But I could die a happy fucking man. And I don't know why. I'm not a rich man. I don't, and I've always chased money. And I've had money. I've had it, I've lost it, I've had it again, I've lost it, I've had it, and don't give a shit about it. So that's why I try to get everybody in the community just to be chase the happiness. Because it is.
You say happiness, I say appreciation and being grateful. I think that's I think there's a distinction between waking up every day and being grateful that you are in the situation that you are in, good, bad, or indifferent, and appreciate the little things that you have or a lot of things that you have. Because I think happiness is just an appreciation. I think that's all it is. And you're having a moment where you can say, I am grateful. I'm grateful for my wife and my children and being able to provide X, Y, and Z and be able to go here and do this or do that. I think being grateful is and appreciation is kind of what you were feeling. I think happiness is I don't
I'm
like I
gonna
tell some of
I'm gonna continue to use the word happiness, and this is why. Happiness to me means full. It's
okay.
all encompassing. You can't put anything else in there. When you say I appreciate, I have to give appreciation to everything. If I say I appreciate this, then I have to say I also appreciate that, or I also appreciate. No, if I say I'm happy, it's just I'm I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I think I think we're saying the same thing. We just have a different viewpoint on what words we're using.
Okay.
Um, the identity aspect of kind of where we started, I think finding who you are along the way before you have a family or before you get into that world. There are some of you in the community that don't have, that aren't married and don't have children. But I think identity is a matter of the decisions that you make, the life experience tied into that, and you know navigating and finding your way. Your identity, my identity for me today is my wife and my children, and they are all that matter to me in the grand scheme of my life because they are my life. They are every fiber of who I am. Literally, my children and my wife. They are who I live for. But I think in this kind of muck and mire of life that we are in, Stratton references happiness. I reference appreciation and being grateful. I think they are all tied together. And along the way, you have to figure that part out. You have to figure out why you're here. You have to figure out what your path is. You have to figure that part out. And you have to, kind of, for example, cut the tie. Once you go off to college, or if you didn't go to college, maybe you went to the military, maybe you just moved out, maybe you got out, maybe you just got out into the world and you just had to figure it out. Take your time, take baby steps, or jump, either way, but be okay with the outcome so you can move on to the next phase of your life. Um, we are 1183. That's the word 11 and the number 83. If there's anybody out there in the community that give us some feedback on identity, appreciation, Stratton says happiness. Um, how do we get there? Where does it all begin? And are we trained? Are we taught? Is it influence? How do we finally understand that what we have, as he says, is enough? Charity is back. Welcome back. My identity outside of my family is my struggle and my come up. Struggle. Struggle is a tough word, Charity. Um, I don't. Here's what we do in 1183 Charity before we begin. Um, I was taught at a young age that words are very powerful. If you feel like your life is a struggle, it will continue to be a struggle. It's not real. It's a word. and words have power. I like your come up because you know there is an up. Struggle is something that is ever present as long as you use the word. And based on my life experience, words are very, very, very powerful. And I would suggest or say use a different word because it may have a different outcome and result for you. Um, your come up is called courage. That's what I would use, courage, because you have to have courage to get through anything that you do, good, bad, or indifferent. Courage is a word that not very many people use. Some people use bravery, some people use strong, some people use other words. But courage carries something with it. And when you're being courageous, you're taking ownership. You're saying that this is me, this is what I do. The word struggle is not what you do, Charity. It is not what you do. Struggle is something that it's just a bad word. It's kind of like hope, right? I hope I win the lottery. There's some form of doubt when I say hope. And I would caution the words. Just my suggestion. You don't have to use it. This is what we do here at 1183. We are a community to give insight.
My suggestion to you, Charity, if you have to come up with a new term or a new phrase, as Mayfield was trying to say, is you're finding your new road. That's all
Yeah.
it is. That's all it is. Not a come up, not a struggle. You know, a mentor friend of mine told me once, I was having a really hard time about the person I used to be and the person that I am now and what the universe has opened itself up to for me. And I didn't feel like I was deserving of it. I didn't feel like I was deserving of it. And it was bothering me because I can't imagine that a person like me would deserve a life that I'm living now. And he told me, he referenced the Bible, and he told me about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah and how they were leaving the city and they were told not to look back at all the carnage that was going on behind them. And I remember the story very detailed. I mean, I remember he kept telling her, "Don't look, don't look, don't look." She turned around, turned to a pillar of salt, and that was it. I may have some of the details skewed. Might even have the name of the city wrong. Can't remember. Anyway, so it made me realize that it's not about who I once was or what I once did. It's about who I am now. I moved past all of that stuff in the back. I'm moving forward now. And once I took that mentality, once I took that mindset to heart, and just what will be, that's where my appreciation or happiness comes from. Your struggle made you, but it doesn't define you. As long as you, what I think Mayfield is trying to say, as long as you breathe life into what made you who you are instead of just being who you are, it may forever haunt you.
So she said, my past was a struggle. Was meaning the past. Come up is a daily for me. Striving not to be a product of my environment. Kudos to you. I say that sincerely.
I hope you moved. I hope you moved. I suggest anybody that is trying not to be a product of their environment, they have to face the fear and move. The only reason that Mayfield and I think, are where we are now is because our mother decided she did not want to be a product of her environment and didn't want to raise her children in that same environment and showed us a little more. And now it's our job to show our children a little more. That step, one step further. I'm a firm believer in get the fuck out of a bad environment. I hate
Well,
that.
that's a part
And
of
it's
winning.
hard. It
That's
is,
a
but it's. I can say that, but it's easier said than done. You can say that with
oh,
a
no
blink of an
doubt,
eye. It's
no
hard as.
doubt, no
Oh,
doubt. It is definitely, Charity. We just happen to be talking because you are in the room, and we greatly
yeah.
appreciate you again for being a
And
part of the community.
I don't
I
know your life. I don't know your back history.
the
I'm glad to meet you, by the way. But I'm very opinionated, and I apologize. I apologize. But it comes from a good place.
we I think when you remove yourself, you win. But first, I feel like you have to be aware, and it sounds like you are fully
You're,
aware.
yes, most definitely. It sounds like
And
it.
it takes courage, number one, to stand in the truth, and number two, it takes courage to move that truth to a whole nother plateau, to a whole nother place. And it sounds like you are on your way. She says, "No need for apologies. I'm an open book." Well, here at 1183, we are a community, and we will treat each other as such, as a community. We're here to. We don't know everything. We don't. We've had
I
we've had
do.
a lot of life experiences.
I do.
I've been homeless at one point. I'm sure there's no been homeless, been to college, been a part of college, left college. I mean, there's all kinds of experiences you have between Stratton and I, and the reason 1183 even began was because we wanted to create a community of communication, a community of sincere and genuine, just a great, good, phenomenal place. Some place where you can feel like you can get the truth because that's what you're going to get. And, sometimes the truth isn't always pretty. And that's what 1183 is. We're here to give it to you. We're going to share our life experiences. Our last video, we got into family. And it's a tough thing to talk about, but we're here to be genuine and sincere. We're not here for 15 minutes of, funny ha-ha fame, whatever you want to call it, but we're here so that maybe we can inspire, give somebody some juice, and have a real conversation. That's what 1183 is. That's our identity. That's who we are. We're here to assist, we're here to create, and give some life to something that doesn't really have any life, but we're here to give it some juice. So check us out, 1183. That's the word 11, the number 83. If there's anybody out there in the community right now that has something they want us to talk about, right now we're talking about identity. Do you lose it while you're kind of on your way? Do you lose it once you have a family? Do you lose it once you get married? How do you keep it? How do you maintain who you are throughout your entire life? I mean, obviously you evolve over time and you grow with wisdom, but how do you keep who you are? How do you stay true to that in the process of flying or floating?
I'm a believer. I am now a believer, and you have to find your happiness. You have to. I challenge everybody in the community right now to ask yourself, what makes you the happiest? And then do it. Just live that. Do that. Live a life of just that. Whatever leads you to just that. I think that's a great thing. I do. And a lot of people, believe it or not, are able to live that. I'm just now able to figure it out.
But that came with time and experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep your identity when you fall in love and they do not? Wow. Hey, Linda.
Wait. That's another topic. Hey, I can get all knee deep into that one. Who has
Hey,
that?
Linda.
Linda? Hi, Linda. You really need to
Welcome.
subscribe. I can. Whoa. Okay. All right.
I think, we'll touch on it in a minute. Welcome to 1183, Linda. So I've had that experience a time or two. And how do you keep a healthy relationship with your family when there's so much pain in your past? Okay, Charity. Yes. Hi. Yeah,
No,
you were with us
time
on
out.
the last
No,
video.
we asked. Hold on. We could take a vote, but first of all, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that as far as love and relationships, it
Hey, Steven. Welcome back, bro. Mr. Entrepreneur.
depends on some. Okay, at some point, the somebody knows who's putting more into that relationship,
Agreed.
right? And he who loves the most loses.
Loses the most.
Period. No matter how you look at it. If it is not a 50-50 or you are not both putting in 100%, hang that up. There, there's there's nothing else to do. You are the person that is putting in the most is always going to either be hurt the most, resent the most.
I think Linda's, it's a great question, Linda. I think when you are madly in love with someone who you just can't see yourself living without, we it's
That's
love
because
is
your cup's not full. Your cup's not full if you need.
love. Yeah, but remember, it is all, it's life experience on the cup. It's the full cup, it's the life experience. But Linda, I feel like for me, I've been in love a handful of times. Okay, like two. Okay, I'm currently married and I'm madly in love. Okay, but the other time, you've you are blind, you're jaded, you can't see, you're blind, you just can't see, and you want to see and feel all the things that are within inside you, and that's hard to let go of. It's hard to let go because what you've wanted and what you strived for, you think you see right in front of you, and it's been a part of your life, and you've invested all of this stuff into the life, and all of a sudden it ceased to exist. But it didn't exist to begin with, and that's the harsh reality. The harsh reality is that what you felt and what you thought was just within you, and it wasn't meant for the person that you thought it was meant for.
And you wasted too much time.
Time. Yeah.
Run from that. If you're not getting the same thing you're putting in and you can't communicate that, you're wasting your time. You need to that unfortunately that person, no matter how much you've already invested.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's been weeks, months, years, or decades. No, I don't care how much time you've already invested.
You can't get it back.
You're not going to get that back. So at
Can't
some
get it back.
point you got to stop. Get off the track.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
another
No doubt.
train going in the direction you were going. Get off of the one you're on.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
that is from me. I don't know you from Adam. I don't know your situation that you are going in, and I am talking about it as if it were me. And if I don't feel like I'm being loved the way I deserve to be loved, then why am I here? Why am I here?
Stephen
I love myself more than that.
Stephen says, I think you need to make amends and put all your cards on the table to move forward and resolve the resentments. It's if your family accepts you, move past the pain. If you don't, you did your part. Well, Stephen, I don't know if you saw us on the last video. We've done a few of them on the family side of things. Mr. Entrepreneur. Family's one of those subjects, and for me personally, I know Charity was with us on the last vlog. Me moving past it is removing myself. Linda said, "Thank you. It was seriously something I needed to hear out loud. That's why we're here. Thank you,
But
Linda.
it's a community. Don't
We
just
are a
take our.
community.
Yeah. Uh, you're very welcome. But on Steven's point, it's really funny because Steven, what you're saying is exactly, I mean, to the pretty much to the T, what I did myself. Um, the problem is I think my family wanted to move past some things, and I don't know that I was overly ready to move past it. And I felt like while they may have forgave me, I don't know that I really forgave them, and I wanted recognition of that, and I wasn't willing to give everything, which goes back to Linda about everybody has to give the same in order for a relationship to work.
All right, Charity and Steven having a conversation here. Charity says, I tried by talking to them and telling them how I felt. The majority of them accept me, but I still feel like they resent me for speaking up. Steven said he removes
But
himself.
let me respond to Charity. Okay, let's say they do. Okay, it is only your feeling that is hindering that relationship. Let's say they do resent you. Let's say they talk about you behind your back. What do we do with that? Do we care? Is
I'm
it
out.
no? Yeah, but
I'm out.
you're out with them. You know what to expect with them, but you're not
Right.
there for just that part of the family.
Well,
You know,
based on what she said
she said some,
she said she tried
right?
talking to them and let them know how she felt.
The
And the
majority
majority of them, right?
accepted me,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So
But
I
Tommy and
mean, at the
Susan over there keep talking shit over there in the corner.
right. I
We'll
mean, I'm
catch
out
them
on that.
back in the back when I gotta take the trash out after Thanksgiving and beat them with the wine bottle. But until then, I'm happy with everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else, we party, we're good. Let them
And
hang over
maybe,
there in the corner. There is something, they may be the reason that you were having problems in the first place. Maybe they just don't like you for whatever reason that is. If people don't like you, it means you're doing something good, as far as I'm concerned. They're
well,
hating for a
here,
reason.
Charity, I will tell you this. I have been separated from my family for an obscene amount of time. And I will tell you this, as you will hear me say over and over and over again. I will tell all of them, I do not care. I will be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy all day long. Enjoy being the bad guy. You've done your part. You've done what you feel like you needed to do to mend those fences. And the nicest way, I would give them the finger. Have a nice day. That's what I would do. Because you've done your part.
But what about everybody else?
I'm assuming she's talking about the two in the back of the room, or the three or the four in the back of the room. Charity, are you talking about the entire family, or are you talking about the ones kind of in the back of the room?
I thought it would. No, she said the majority. The majority accepts me. Accepts
Right,
me
right,
means
right.
yeah. Then don't.
Yes. So Stephen said he removes himself. I know if I remove myself, I take myself wherever I go. Absolutely. I do. Charity says, more so aunts and uncles, 7 altogether.
They accept her,
Yes.
and I'm assuming maybe some of the cousins are, don't.
I will tell you this.
We've been there.
I will tell you this. And I'm confident when I say this. I feel like they need me more than I need them. And that's just me.
Wait.
I feel like that they don't there's no if you feel like you're getting something from them. She said text is so difficult for these deep combos. Some of my aunts and uncles do. So here's here's my looking glass. Here's my point of view. Attach yourself and be in the lives of those who accept you for who you are and you get something from. For those that don't serve you, leave them where they are because they have no purpose. They don't serve you.
Right.
Okay. Now, if at some point you have to come across these people, you may have to come across them along the way. And I couldn't tell you in the nicest way how to deal with that part of it because I just wouldn't be a part of it at all. But I would tell you to create ways to be with those people that accept you for who you are. And if you can't create those ways without running into those people, I think that's something that you have to think about. Because I feel like those relationships are important to you and for you. So I would tell you, you have to figure that part out. That might be a challenge, but only you know. So what's up, John?
I find it shocking to hear you say that, actually. The only reason I think it's shocking is because you know us. We will tell anybody to fuck off in a minute.
Right,
And,
but that creates a
and
different dynamic for the relationship
no.
that
We don't have to say fuck off. Our whole body language. I can be as nice as possible to you, laugh and kick it and tell jokes and eat and everything else, while the person that hates me the most is sitting over there in the corner. But they would not even come close to approaching us.
Stephen says, if you come from a place of guilt and resentment, you reap what you sow. If you focus on integrity and grace, you will get the same. Well, Mr. Entrepreneur, resentment is a word that doesn't really resonate with me very well because, again, for those of us in the community that are around long enough, I just don't care. It's not a part of my life. I don't give it any energy because I don't care. Now, reaping what I sow is what I create for my family and what I'm blessed with from the universe, my higher power. I don't attach, Stephen said, grudge. It doesn't serve me. So I don't see it as a grudge or resentment. It just doesn't exist for me. We just happen to be having a discussion based on life experiences and families and things like that.
He's not telling 1183 the truth. We hold grudges.
I wouldn't say I'm holding a grudge.
Our definition is we will cut you out of our life. Are used to. I was known for it, and he was also. We would cut you out of. Matter of fact, I think we have a post about you talking about how you will cut somebody out in a heartbeat, and they may not even know why you cut them out.
That's not a grudge. That is removing something that doesn't serve me.
But they don't even know what happened. They have no idea what happened. No idea.
Okay. So
we have family members that are doing that. We have done that to them also. We are holding.
What I'm saying is, holding a grudge for me is holding on to something. Is holding on to something that I want to get something out of. That I don't. There's nothing there for me. There's nothing there, so I can't hold something that doesn't serve me. It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Your definition of a grudge is to.
I was speaking on her aunts and uncles. I understand.
Okay. We're having
Mr. Entrepreneur. We're having an open.
That's what 1183 is.
That's 1183.
I lost my train of thought. I laughed about that. And every time I put my head down, my neck is killing me. Go ahead.
I would recommend, because we were talking about how she should interact with those family members that she gets something out of, that she feel she's receiving that, and the other ones that she's not getting the good energy from, how to navigate being able to be around those family members without seeing the others. I was just saying that may be a challenge. That's something she'll have to figure out. Because if those relationships are important to you, that's what I would recommend. If you have to distance yourself from the entire family, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, especially if you have those relationships that you really want to So that may require you to expend a little energy trying to figure that part out.
Okay. I could agree with that. All right. Well, I escaped unscathed.
I don't even know what that means.
That means this conversation could have got real deep real quick. It's only been, God damn, another 50 minutes?
We get
All right.
lost.
Yeah, we do.
We get
Yeah, we
lost.
do.
So I'll leave you 1183, the community, with this. This has been number 4, the 4th session of the day. Linda, Stephen, Charity, we love you guys. We appreciate you stopping by. The channel is the word 11, the number 83. Charity says, thanks for the convo. I really enjoy 1183 live feed. Work comes early. I'm headed to bed. I really think that you are all doing something special, giving people a chance to talk. That's very important, to give people a voice. Thanks for listening. Good night and be blessed.
You as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're
That's what we're going to say.
Every night but Thursday.
And, you know, we're here to fight for you, for us, for the community. Mr. Entrepreneur, Stephen, thanks for stopping by. And I'll leave you guys with this, and then I'll let Stratton do whatever that is he wants to do. You have the weekend coming. Be safe.
You got the hiccups.
I'm cold. You got the weekend coming. Thanks, Charity. We appreciate it.
All right.
You got the weekend coming. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Create the life that you've always wanted. And be good. Don't take no for an answer. If you're fighting for something, keep on fighting. And enjoy your life. Be grateful and appreciate what you have.
Find your happiness. That's all I have. That's all I want for anybody. Let go of the stress and find out and do what makes you the happiest. Good night, people.
Good night.